working.
I look like I'm working? I'm like doing a bunch of recording, seeing people like you smiling. So it's Nuit Blanche 2015. I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm just here right now making some footage and enjoying the vibes people are bringing. Everyone's having a good time. Yeah.
Oh man. Oh, let us take. Are you recording?
Yeah.
Let us come. now record him. Yeah.
All right, we're doing a video right now. What do you guys want to say? Say something.
You're
Oh, group hug? Yeah.
Have a good night.
Have a good night, you guys. Nuit Blanche 2015. Sean and Kat and Anton. But all these crazy button action going on over here.
What is art? Art is so subjective.
Art takes on so many forms, so many layers, so many variables.
These are stolen images from magazines that I put into little buttons.
Hugs, I want a button though.
Hugs first, button later, man. You can either way. You're gonna button.
Okay, we can hug. I don't know why ice is really cold.
It is really cold.
Free hugs.
Yes, free hug.
Thank you.
Free hug. Have a good night.
Also nice. Really good night.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Yeah, it's a cold night for us. But I bet it's too tasty though.
Have a nice night.
You too. Trying to find our friends.
Which friend?
So, what have you been enjoying about this so far?
I've been enjoying the smile. Everyone's just been coming up smiling because you can't be sad when you're given a hug.
I know.
That's kinda nice.
You might be able to maybe perhaps the person who might be walking up to you feeling a little bit reserved or anxious or maybe shy, but then once the hug comes out,
it's like the minute everyone just wants to spread their love.
Yeah.
The warmth is nice because it's a little cold.
Yeah.
But it's just the love.
I know, and it's like we're inviting people to share that moment too. Like the fact that we had an extra sign and that one guy was like, I want to join you too. Yes. Wow. Like that. Have a good night, you guys. Here, this beautiful artist makes these amazing buttons.
Yeah, that's right, Anto Chan. Nice to meet you. We're just talking about the idea of what the buttons mean to me, and I feel like each one is kind of like a portal into that little world. So if we end up having lots of different styles of buttons, it is intriguing to a lot of different types of people. And I think that's what I really would love to be able to share all the different parts of myself, I guess, through the buttons that I'm creating. So I remember one time my girlfriend and I made a whole set of buttons, and one of our friends looked at it and was like, I could tell which ones were yours, Jen, and which ones were yours, Anto. So it's really cool what you would create on your own and what you're able to actually share. So being able to be out on this night, I actually left my house around 11 something just to be out by midnight, and I felt like Nuit Blanche was I had to be out here. I was on the other side of the world, and I was reading about it last year, and then I was in Hong Kong, and then so for me, I had a couple Nuit Blanche moments in Hong Kong where I was I literally was standing in the most busy tunnel, and I stood there with one of my button boards, and people would go by, and I would just talk to them, and I would just say hello or whatever, but at certain points I actually went completely silent, and I just let the button pieces, be judged and be looked at, and they were the pieces of art, and I felt like me standing there was also the piece of art as well, so, yeah.
Hug in the moment.
Definitely,
Yeah.
hug in the moment. Definitely hug in the moment.
No hugs left behind. Have a good night, guys.
No huggers left behind. So I do appreciate what you're doing as well, because a lot of times I feel like people are kind of afraid to approach because they're like, well, do I have to give money or do I have to?
Exactly.
But a lot of times what really comes forward is their intentions matching your intentions, and them realizing that it's actually sweet. Yeah. For them to realize that it's actually you wanting to give love to them.
Yeah.
I think that it's
like an
actually
unconditional
impactful. Yeah, it is unconditional, and I think it's harder actually to give unconditional love to a family member. So that's why strangers, we should be giving love to each other, because unconditional love, yeah, it exists within families, but you're kind of forced into it. Whereas if you have it for the strangers, it actually is just love. That's actually the most, I feel, the deepest love when you have for strangers as well as for your family, and it kind of all connects in that way. So
absolutely, yeah. And what you're doing is great because you have these symbols that create like like you said, like portals for inspiration. Be curious and questions to be inspired.
I like the curiosity as well, because a lot of people aren't sure what is happening and they ask questions, and I think the questions are necessary for us to actually think about the rest of our lives, because art is such a reflection of our lives. Whenever I was down before, I would just go and I would perform a show, or I would create something really special that I feel I wanted to give to people on stage or by piece of art, and I think that's like, to be able to actually be like, holy shit, like this inspired me, I gotta go out right now. Right now, I feel like I needed to be right here, and a couple half an hour ago, there's people laying over there on the ground, and people would come over and they would ask like, well, what are you guys doing here? And I just laid down, right? So I actually just made it up, and I was like, yeah, this piece is called Skepticism. And then I was like, the only way that you could actually feel it and understand it is if you two are a part of it. And then they were just like, oh, but I don't know if I believe in that. And that was where the skepticism actually was.
Right.
And then so when they laid down, that skepticism actually was either reinforced or it was gone. But the skepticism was, I think, the highlight of it. And we kind of just made the piece of art with each other, So I thought that was really cool. Yeah.
In the moment.
Well, they helped us create it, right? Like I wasn't laying down before, and then I just started laying down. So
so it just unfolded as it.
It unfolded, exactly.
And that's what's great. It's like a natural process, kind of like what we're doing right here. Like nothing is really entirely planned. Like we walked up to you, we just met like, I don't know, 15 minutes ago. Sean, my friend over here, was actually feeling quite reluctant at the beginning of the night. But he's like totally enjoying it right now.
He's good at it as well. I can see.
And like that's a reflection of how a lot of people are feeling too. We're coming into it and we're just like, oh, I don't know, if I wanna hug someone just yet, or.
Well, I would be curious to see if you guys also did a segment that was just hugs on it. It just said hugs. Is the value of it actually free, right? Or is it actually you still need to be present in that moment, so it's not really free? You know what I'm saying? So, but it's not that it's bad that you're doing that as well. But I think that it's like there's value in it being like purely like just hugs. You know what I mean? Or
You know what? I'm actually gonna play around with that idea. I think that's a good idea. How's it going so far?
Pretty good.
It's been an awesome night so far.
Yeah, for sure.
The chilliness is not getting us down. We're totally warm.
I love chili.
So chilly. So chilly. All right, I'm being so kooky and zany.
No, that's great though. I think that's necessary. You can't only be serious about art. You gotta have fun with it.
You gotta have fun with it. You gotta be wild. You gotta dip your toes in something.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw this. There's this Marina Abramovich lady.
The artist is present.
Artist is present.
Oh, that was my favorite.
That kicked some ass. Yeah. She was like sat there and she would just look at the person in front of her for a certain amount of time and just like do that, and then the person would be affected by it, and then she would stand up and the person in line would go and say goodbye. She did that for like weeks, like crazy.
And I don't know if I mentioned that to you, but a couple of friends of mine, I don't know if you saw this video recently, it kind of went viral either last week or a couple weeks ago. It was based in Tel Aviv, and it had to do with eye gazing. So two strangers, look at each other. They would sit down on the ground and just in a big city, you would see a bunch of people just kind of like doing almost like a flash mob, but people sitting down and staring at each other. And that brings up a lot, like whether it's we totally do that. I was thinking of planning on doing that actually. Soon, with some of my friends and stuff.
That'd be impactful, I think. It's also exploring not only the person who's sitting in front of you, but like Marina Abramovich said, a lot of times she acted just as the mirror, the reflection of the other person, and they were actually looking into themselves at that moment. And I thought that was so crazy because for her being present, she was that mirror because they were looking into her eyes, and they weren't I think she was so strong that she was actually reflecting right back to them. So I
Yeah,
thought that was what was
yeah.
really
And I think that's often why it's such a crazy, vulnerable experience, because like when you're staring at a person like in that way,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like it's so stripped away.